What's going on, YouTube? Dragon Ballers. What's going on? Just got back home from another weekly locals. This week, I felt like the Bardock deck wasn't really doing it as fast as what I wanted to. So I decided to skip doing Bardock this week. And this week I went with more of a mid-range. Seeing more and more deck techs on this than Bardock. So, what the hell? I'll put my 2 cents in there, right? Um, Probably nothing very different from what you've seen on every other build, but it's still a fun build, fun mid-range deck. The deck I built, King Cold. Let's see. When the permanent is when you put this into the, I want to say command zone, but leader zone, you activate field car. Your fields cost one less, and when it comes into the commander area, leader area, you play this field spell. This field spell, just for more sense and purposes, just says that you can have multiple fields in play, but you cannot have of the same names, of multiples of the same names. So that's that. But your field spells of 2 costs are reduced by 1, so you go down to a 1 cost. Um, and then the once per turn, when you activate a green extra field spell, you can take 1 card from your life to your hand and draw a card. And then when your life is at 4 or less, you may untap up to 2 energy to active mode and flip this card over. Then it becomes stupid. Still has the same permanent that you can have as many um, field spells, and you reduce the cost by 1 for the 2 cost ones. The auto once per turn is when you activate a green extra card with an energy cost of 2 and the field skill, draw 1 card. So every time that you play a field spell, you draw 1 card. You don't have to give up a life this time because you are already awakened. And then the active battle once per turn, choose 1 card, 1 green extra card with energy cost of 2 and the field skill in your battle area and place it in its owner's drop area. This card gets plus 10k power for the battle. So you might as well say your leader is just a 25k every time that you attack on the awakened side. Seems pretty good. Um, so let's just leave that like that because that's where we usually look at it. For the fields spells that I run, it's probably going to look pretty obvious in every other build. But like I said, let's put my 2 cents in there. 4 of a new ruler. When this card is placed in a battle area, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then look up to the top 3 cards, add up to 1 mono green. Mono green. So anything in this deck you can add to your hand. Seems good. And place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then the second auto is when you blow this up by one of your skills, like the leader skill. When this card is put into a drop area from a battle area by one of your skills, draw 1 card, then choose 1 card in your hand and just discard it. So you're going to play this, draw a card because of your lead, and then look at the top 3, put a card into your hand. Then when you blow this up, just draw 1 card and choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. Seems pretty good for cycling, right? Next field spell that we run a 4 of is Anticipated Onslaughts. You play this card, you draw off of leader, and then when you also play this, Draw one card, then choose up to one mono green Frieza clan card or Frieza army card with energy cost of 2 or less in your hand and play it. We have 2 targets for this. I'll get to those when I get to the battle cards. And then the auto once per turn, when a green extra card with the field skill in your battle area other than this card is placed in its owner's drop area by one of your skills. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, which energy cost of 2 or less, and KO it. Yeah, that can do BMS. That can do a lot of different things in this format. So, like I said, 4 of those. Then I run 3 of basically, I would call this the Turles Tree of Might, Fruit of the Tree of Might. So you draw a card off of the lead. Then, when this card is placed in a battle area, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. Then one of your leader gets plus 10k power and double strike for the turn. So you play this, you give your leader 10k, right? You swing with your lead, you blow this up. Now you have a 35k double. Seems decent. And then when you blow this card up, place it in its owner's drop area, choose up to one of your opponent's unison cards, remove a marker from it. Who doesn't want to do that? Who wants to make sure that your free counter plays cannot be played by your opponent? Seems pretty good. Then for the last one, 2 of Terrified Realizations. Again, draw off a lead just for playing the card. And then if you have 4 or more extra cards in your battle area with the field skill, your green Frieza clan battle cards get plus 5k power for your turn. When this card is placed in a battle area, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then draw a card. So just another draw effects, and of course give your Frieza clan a plus 5k. Now let's get into our counterplays. I love these very much. We're going to be playing 4 of the coolers. So counterplay, when this card is in your battle, 4 or less, it is the counterplay of this is if you are countering something that has 4 or less cost, instead of being played, it just goes to the graveyard or the discard. The permanent is when it's your opponent's turn, you can actually reduce the cost by 1 for each extra card in your battle area or drop area. So turn 2, this is always going to be a 1 cost. So seems decent. And then when this card is played, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in hand, they have to discard one card. So that's the counter plays for that. And because we are running unisons in this deck, we are running a 4 of Frieza charismatic villain. This card has been out long enough. Everyone should know what this does. But if you don't, counterplay something and choose something with 7 or less and KO it. This card does get around deflect, but it does not get around barrier. So, still good card to have. Now we're going to get into our counter attacks. I like being able to negate attacks and have blockers, so I play 3 of homicidal clones. When your life is at 5 or less, you may cast this without paying its mana cost. So by giving up a life, so 5 or less life, play it, counter the attack, make a blocker, block the next attack. So you're blocking 2, 4, 6. 6 attacks you're blocking off of that. Then for the next counter attack, we actually play a 4 of Royal Supremacy. Counter the attack, negate the attack, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards whose total energy costs add up to 3 or less and KO them. So this is actually really good against the Bardock's crew. Because the 1 cost Bardock crews when they're on the battlefield are considered 3s, so you can just kill something with that. And then if you have 3 or more green extra cards with field skill in your area, you can activate the card's counter skill from your hand without paying the energy. So it's just a free counter. Then another 4 of that we play for counter attacks is going to be our floodgate. This is kind of the reason why I feel like I do not need dormant potential in this deck, because this card is just a mini topo. So counter the attack, and then if your opponent still wants to attack your leader card for the turn, they have to discard a card. So pretty good floodgate for the deck that was made for the deck. And my unison, of course, is going to be the King Vegeta. +1, play field spell. -1, we really never use, but it's your opponent chooses one of their battle cards and energy costs of 5 or less and KOs it. So they get to choose, which we really don't want our opponents to choose that. And the -3, this can just be the OP. This can be your just win. This card gets triple strike and plus 5k power for each extra card in your battle area. So this one that you have in the start of the game, that's your first one always. Then we play 4 other field spells, so you're at 5 if you have them all in play. So yeah, 5 times 5, 25, plus another 15. So yeah, what is that? This can be a 40k triple strike. Secret much, but yeah. Secret rare power. Then super combo of choice. I've seen people run the Gohan and defending Father Paragus. I run the Paragus. You can run both. These to me, I feel are just much better for the deck. But both options are good. It's still you draw 2 and you put and you the Gohan is that you bottom 1 card and you draw 2. This one is you draw 2 and you put 1 to your warp. So either way, you're cycling through your deck pretty good, and you can still draw even if you have only 1 in hand. You can still draw into like another 1 or 2. Then, of course, the thing that keeps our spells coming back after we sacrifice them, our field spells, Berry Blue. I feel Roshi got banned because Bandai knew this was coming out. I honestly feel that because, yes, it doesn't get everything, but it gets the field spells. I feel he got banned because this was coming out. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but that's what I feel. It's just you pay 1 green, you bring your field spell back into play from the graveyard. And then for our creatures, we run 3 of those guys of Frieza Revived and Reviled. Dual attack, blocker. And when you have enough field spells in play, this can actually be a 2 cost. So our 1 field spell that says that we can play a 2 cost or less from our hand, this is 1 target, and Berry Blue is another target. So those are 2 targets off of that free play. Then, of course, we don't like our opponents having a board. So when we feel that we cannot do anything about their board, we're just going to board wipe for 3. You pay 1, play this, then you pay 2, blow up a field spell for 2 green. You blow up the board, and this gets plus 16 power and double strike until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you blow up the board, and this is a 20k double strike. Seems decent. And then for our boss monster, we have our Golden Frieza. Deflect double strike. Reduce the energy cost by 1 for each 2 green extra cards. Then the active main once per turn. Choose 1 green extra card with an energy cost of 2 or less with the field skill in your battle area. Place it in its owner's drop area. Place up to 1 card in your opponent's hand. And ignoring barrier, and place them in their owner's drop area. Then switch this card to active mode. So you can do 25k double strike, pay the once per turn, get something from their hand, untap this, swing again, 25k double. Seems pretty good. Then for our secret rare, there's people playing either, one is the Great Ape, the green one. That one's really good. And the other one that people are running is the counter Majin Buu one. And I have both. I've tested both, but I like to have answers to counters. So of course I run the Majin Buu, the counter. Yes, it's a 10 cost, but if your opponent does counter attack, you can actually play this for 3. You play this for 3, and now they have a 40k to go up against when you played a counter. So you counter their attack, your attack goes through, and now you have a 40k on board that they go, oh, what am I gonna do? So yeah, guys and gals, for anyone that plays Dragon Ball, that is my King Cold profile. Did really good. It actually went 2-1. Even though I feel like this deck it's really popular, and I don't like popular decks, but it's still a fun deck. The only reason why I say it's really way too much popular is just because at my locals there was me and 3 other King Cold players. And let me tell you, the mirror match is not fun. It's if anyone has played Magic the Gathering and has played blue-white control versus blue-white control versus control, it's not fun. It never is. It's a long going game. It's just not fun. This deck is I want to. It's not control. I want to say it's mid range with slash aggressive. So that's what I feel. but I do not feel that it is control like what people say. I want to say that this deck can be mid range. I do not believe this deck is control as what people think. But again, guys, thank you for watching. If you're not subscribing me, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notified whenever I put up videos. Normally, I'm doing videos on Saturday or Sunday whenever I get home or whenever I feel like to do how my week went at locals. Um, but yeah, that is my King Cold profile, and you guys talk to you next week. Later.